In listening, you should always avoid judging and criticizing the things before listening. We human beings, what we generally do is we already have an opinion about all the things. We already start judging people. So that is why you are not supposed to judge people. This is our nature, but we have to get rid of this nature. Get rid of the nature of judging people, of criticizing people, of criticizing things. So that is why being a listener, it is very important to keep an open mind so that you can take everything, so that you can take each and every information, so that you can understand everything. Next is to listen to the words and try to picture what the speaker is saying. So now, when the speaker is saying something, you can try to picture what the speaker is saying to you. So in that way, maybe you'll be able to understand in a better way. That does not mean that you go in some different world. Okay, that does not mean that like you mentally travel somewhere else. No, picturizing what the speaker is saying is another way of understanding the speaker in a better way. Try to picturize the words that you are listening. So in that way, you will be able to grab more information. In that way, you'll be able to understand the speaker in a better way. Next is don't interrupt and don't impose your solutions. So, as I had already said, you're not supposed to interrupt. Being a listener, you're not supposed to interrupt, and you're not also supposed to impose your solutions. Okay, you are not supposed to stop the speaker in the middle. You can definitely clarify, you can definitely clear your doubts, you can definitely ask questions, but once the speaker finishes his or her speech, but you're not supposed to interrupt or interfere in anything. Wait for the speaker to pause or ask clarifying questions. So, as I had said, you need to wait for the right time to ask your question. So, wait for the speaker to stop. Wait for the speaker to ask clarifying questions. Wait for the speaker to ask you whether you have understood or not. So, wait for that right time. Do not jump in the middle. Ask questions only to ensure understanding. So, being a listener, you're supposed to ask only those kind of questions which ensures your understanding, which which will provide the questions that will provide you certain more information and a clearer picture. You're not supposed to provide any solutions to the speaker. If you're not having a conversation with someone, if the person is not asking you for a solution, then you're not supposed to give your expert opinion. You can definitely seek information, you can definitely seek clarification, but you're not supposed to you're not supposed to judge the person or criticize the person at that point of time. You can definitely ask questions to understand the whole topic. Next is try to feel what the speaker is feeling. So when the speaker is delivering the lecture, try to feel it. Try to feel what he's trying to say, try to feel what he's trying to explain. Try to be in that place and then you will be able to understand it in a better way. And number nine is give the speaker regular feedback. So you have to provide feedback. Now, regular feedback does not mean that you have to interrupt. You can give feedback in different ways. You can give feedback in different ways, as I had already said in the earlier classes, that maintaining eye contact, nodding your head, and that is also considered as a feedback. When you nod your head, that is also considered as a feedback. That means you have understood. When you maintain eye contact, so when you blink your eyes, that is also considered as a feedback. So your feedback always is not, it's always not given in words. The feedback is not always given in words. Your feedback can be something related to your expressions, your gestures as well. All right. So every time you don't have to say a word, but sometimes, of course, you have to say a word as well. So it depends upon the situation, it depends upon the time. So you have to find out the right time to ask your question, to provide your feedback. All right. Next, the 10th one is to pay attention to what isn't said, to nonverbal cues. So basically, what you have to do is you need to pay attention to the nonverbal cues as well. So I had already said this yesterday as well. So you need to you need to understand the gestures. You need to understand the facial expressions as well, because the nonverbal cues and cues also, they tell a lot of things. So they tell a lot of stories. So that is why, apart from the words, try to understand the expressions, try to understand the gestures as well. So these are the 10 tips which will help you to become an effective or a good listener, to become an active listener. First one is face the speaker. You need to maintain eye contact. Then second is you need to be attentive, but you should be relaxed as well. You should pay attention, but you should be relaxed. You should not be stressed or tensed. Then you should go with an open mind. You should keep an open mind so that you absorb the information that is provided to you. Then, whenever you're listening to the words, try to picture what the speaker is trying to say. In that, we'll be able to understand it. Uh, do not keep on interrupting, or do not impose any kind of solutions. Do not criticize. Do not judge. If you have any kind of questions, if you have any kind of doubts, if you want to clarify something, wait for the speaker to pause, or wait for the speaker to ask the clarifying questions. Whenever you're asking questions, ask questions only to ensure your understanding, only to understand the topic, only to seek information about the topic, and try to feel what the speaker is feeling. Try to understand the speaker, and when you try to feel what the speaker is going through or what the speaker is feeling, then you'll definitely be able to understand the speaker. Then you need to give feedback to the speaker, because feedback is a very important part of communication. Then the last one is to be attentive, but my attention not only to the words, but you need to pay attention to the nonverbal cues as well. That means you need to look at the nonverbal cues and cues as well. You need to look at the facial expression, gestures, body language, and everything. Okay. So these are the 10 tips. Do you have any doubts regarding listening skills? So with this, I complete the lesson listening skills. Do you have any doubts regarding listening skills? So I'm not going to start any new chapter today. Most of the students have not even joined. Only 61 students have joined. So I'm not going to start any new topic today. So with this, I complete 3 units. So in the next class, I will start the 4th unit of this subject. So for now, do you have any kind of questions for me? Do you want to ask any questions? Do you want any kind of information? Do you have any kind of doubts? Then you can ask. My voice is not clear. Is it clear now? Is it clear now? Gaurav, is it clear now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so do you have any kind of questions for me? Do you want to ask me anything regarding the lessons that I had taught you, regarding the lessons that I had explained to you, the topics that I had explained to you, especially regarding listening skills? Because today I have completed this lesson, listening skills. So, can anyone tell me what is active listening? Any one of you? Can any one of you tell me what is active listening?
Ma'am, listening with full concentration.
Absolutely correct. Now, can anyone tell me how to practice active listening? Any two ways. Can anyone tell me any two ways to practice active listening?
I'm maintaining eye contact and no interruption, or watching the non-verbal clues.
Okay, absolutely correct. Very good, Nitish. Then, can anyone tell me what is selective listening? What is selective listening?
And speaker's speech get filtered out when we don't pay attention to the speaker. Then their words get filtered and few words got missed. And that is selective listening.
Okay, correct. Very good. Now, can you tell me what is reflective listening? What is reflective listening?
I'm listening to speaker actively or and also response to give feedbacks.
Very good. Now, apart from Nitish, can anyone tell me what is the role of a listener in communication? What is the role of a listener in the process of communication? What is the role of a listener in the process of communication? What is the role of a listener in the process of communication? Muskan, can you tell me?
Ma'am,
You
first of
must be
all, a
active.
listener completes the process of communication. That is, he
Listen
gives feedback.
carefully with full concentration.
And
For feedback,
Interaction.
and
I'm giving feedback.
yes, very good. Can you tell me some other ways to practice effective listening or to practice active listening? Some other ways or some tips to be an active listener?
repeating the sentence.
Repeating the sentence. Why? Why do you need to repeat the sentence?
If you don't understand something,
Okay,
then we can repeat and understand it better.
okay. What should we do in a boring lecture? How to concentrate in a boring lecture or in a boring meeting?
Ma'am, to note down what the speaker is saying.
Correct. And
Ask questions and keep the speaker engaged in asking questions.
okay, correct. And but you cannot keep on asking questions. Like you cannot interrupt. You can definitely ask questions. You can definitely provide. You can definitely respond or give your feedback. But you cannot interrupt. You have to also take care of that. You cannot interrupt the speaker. Once the speaker finishes speech, then you can do that. All right. So you cannot interrupt him or her. You can definitely ask questions. You can definitely keep yourself engaged in the conversation, but you should also take care of this thing that you cannot overspeak. Being a listener, you cannot overspeak or you cannot keep on asking questions. You like you need to let the speaker speak at first, and then when the speaker completes whatever he has completes his speech, finish his speech, then you can ask questions. All right, then I hope all of you have understood. So That's all for today.